So, Andy, what would you say is sort of the most important thing that you learned in your political career that influences your day-to-day as a lawyer?
So I'm going to answer with two things, even though you're trying to wanted to limit me to one. The first is uh, understanding your adversary's motives and just how important that is as an advocate. And I think that's especially has its own gloss in the political context. But what is motivating the people who are investigating you? And in congressional investigations, that's usually it's one layer deep. You can figure it out pretty quickly. Is there someone up on the Hill that's agitating investigative activity against your client? Is there something going on in a district that is motivating this member to move forward? Is there something about their party and the party's positions and its political targets that is motivating this activity? Or is it a bipartisan issue where you're really not going to be able to play mom against dad? And your client's going to really have to deal with it coming in. So really trying to map what is motivating the people that are investigating you and what their incentives are is really helpful. Even the time value of their incentives. If there's a significant delay, are they still going to be interested 3 months from now? Or was this really chasing headlines? That might inform the pace of your responses in some ways to try and help mitigate the problems an investigation creates for your client. So that piece, it's always helpful in a courtroom to understand the judge and understand those things. And I think it's especially true when you're dealing with political actors who are sort of sitting as judge and jury in these contexts oftentimes. The other point I would make is conservation of conflict. And what I mean by that is just the idea that you really like saving your unpleasant positions and your very hard line positions and your harsh rhetoric for only when you absolutely need it, and really trying to be conservationist about deploying those harsher tactics and trying to say yes but to members of Congress rather than no. The best advocacy is really trying to be cooperative but still protect your client's interests rather than coming in a very confrontational way. So it's not one size fits all. There can be certain situations where the dynamics call for a different approach, and you've got to burn some bridges and torch the landscape. But I think generally it's helpful to have a very slow escalation process and try to be conservationist about that in terms of helping the committees get what they need and always being able to defend your client's conduct with respect to the investigation by demonstrating all that it has done and having less focus on what it is trying not to do.